Hi everyone, 21st of January 2026, and today we have our, well, I would say strategy video for the metals, and it's interesting what's currently happening. So let's see what we are currently doing. You can already see what I mean by that, but this move, it feels like this is very much insanity. Um, it's a straight up move out of a weak move to the upside. To me, this is a top coming in. Doesn't look like a beginning. Doesn't mean it should end right now. But so far, this looks like it's gonna try to come down again on Monday. So here, the question really is, do you want to stay in that or do you not want to stay in that? I mean, we have blown through every technical target that we had, which was basically this massive monster. And now we want to try to time the top for this. And let me push you something with an analysis that I rarely do, but when I do it, I want to nail it. And I want to showcase that. Um, Pretty much this looks done to me, but not super done either. So we have like one more push left whenever this comes. But I want to highlight that this is probably the upside, and we already made this. Okay, so there isn't a lot of fuel in the tank, if you will, to give us that last final, I would say, a greedy high. The bear markets in no, not in Bitcoin, in gold have been very devastating, to say the least. You always got a very big decline. So let's just measure from here. This was 45%. This was 66%. This was 45%. This was 30%. So we are at a point where a correction, to say the very least, is likely. I believe that we are here. We're currently around this point, and we will get a move to the downside that's going to be very sharp, very emotional, very swift. And I don't think it is a time to be complacent, especially if you have made significant gains. Of course, this is your decision to make. Nothing in this video is financial advice. But to me, this is perfect. Okay, you might get a throw over on Monday, but then you should see this like that. It's gonna break the channel probably, try for another move higher, and then we're gonna have a larger scale consolidation. However, it wants to play out. I think this is what's up. I don't think it has much higher to go, even though the only uncertainty remains that this leg could still extend towards 5,700 or even 7,200. But that, in my opinion, would be the ceiling. Like, this move was nothing but incredible, but I think it's time to make some shifting. And let me show you what I mean. Here, we went to the 0.618, which is textbook. Here, we went to the 38.2, which is textbook. Here, the only thing that is not clear to me is if this 3 is already in or not, or if 3 is coming in still, because you can start this count from there, and then you would get this as a final green 5 for 3. Then you would come down, then you would go up, and then you would come down again. But you make the most of the money in the 3. So we have done that. 5 is probably like that, like a wet fart, more or less. I've seen lots of people on social media asking if they can take a loan to buy in gold or silver. Feels done to me, okay? Feels super done. Let's look at the positioning. So here you can see that dumb money is getting out of shorts, but smart money is also closing longs. And yeah, that's probably it. Dumb money was long here, here, and here. And here they started shorting. So probably all of those gains they gave back in this rally. And smart money was short all the way until they had to buy it here. I don't know why. Probably they make the money with the difference because the commercials here could also be miners themselves. So they just make like the ticket out and then they just simply buy a short futures contract to secure the gains, right? So this is how they make instantly money, and that's why I think we have more or less done here. It will be sideways though. It will take time. So don't expect this to come down like instantly. Expect a range to form before we come down. Okay, similar like Bitcoin, but if I show you this in Bitcoin, because most of the people in our Discord like Bitcoin, I mean, did you make any money here, right? Then you had the down move, and then we had our final push. Did you make any money here? Or even I could say, did you make any money here where we started? And this is still the unraveling phase. So that's about, I would say, um, yeah, from there. So to the top, that's the year. To the current price, it's a bit more than a year. And then, yeah, it's more than a year, basically. Well, zero performance was gained. I can also show you the cross chart of that. Gold against Bitcoin. There we go. This was basically this entire range. So from this point on, you shouldn't have made any money. This can still go up higher, but it doesn't mean that gold goes up higher. Gold could range at this point, and Bitcoin could fall. And I think that is the likely scenario. Okay, so I have that. Um, okay, going back to silver. There it is. Magnificent. I didn't expect that move. It caught me off guard. Look at that move, guys. Insanity. But here also, probably coming to an end. Um, so this is my main analysis. I just wanted this one to go up. And my final target is 150. Okay. But it's still, as an analyst, you have to kind of question yourself. The main part is it really going to reach 150? Maybe not in this move. Maybe it does a 1 or 2 year correction. So what if it does that and then goes to 150? Would you still want to be in it? That's my main gripe currently. And I want to present you an EV. I rarely do these, as you know. But when I do this, I want to make sure I have 100%, I would say, neutral. And here it seems like this is probably it. So 38.2. I could try to take this and probably get a 618 out of that. Yeah, just about. Not really touching it. You could say this is it. I don't know how we would make sense of that unless you count it as a flat. If an like W, X, and a Y here somewhere as I don't know what kind of bullshit. So I don't want to bother. But in commodities, the fifth is usually the longest, the most emotional, if you will, and that has been the case so far. The interesting part about that is that it could actually make one more move up compared to gold, but I don't want to take chances. Like I said, my target is 150. Um, it used to be 50 last year, so we double performed that. But yeah, it looks like it's also coming to an end here. So you're gonna get at least that, and then another move like this. The question is only, is it gonna perform a lot or not? Um, feels a bit risky here to me as well, especially because the shrimps are increasing. The dumb money is exiting, but the smart money is also not really doing anything in this. So I don't know what's up with this chart in terms of relative positioning. Um, here, people seem to be just roll with it, I guess. What I expect from these highs, whatever it is, you would probably get a sharper correction in an endless range before it does anything. So, in my opinion, um, I wouldn't exit completely, but I would look for taking profit at the very least. We made so much money on that. Okay, so this is gold and silver. Let me try to lose a couple of words for platinum. I think when silver ranges, this thing runs, and this has been the case so far. We were at the range highs. I wanted to see if we break out or not. We did. So this should, in theory, continue higher. I don't know how high it's going to go, but it looks insane as well. It's an insane type of move. Um, I don't know. There's no technicals for that. Okay. I can't tell you how high this could go. If we were to count wave counts, this is one, this is two, this is three, so we're gonna get a four soon, and then you're gonna get a five still. Um, but yeah, after this was probably also done. My target was the range high, and it has outperformed it now. So this is also a done trade. Palladium is still at the midpoint of the range. I expect it to go around 2300 and reach this channel, which it's about to do. So this is probably also going to get done. The only question here is, why did copper not do anything yet? Will copper run or not? I'm not so sure. Okay, I can't tell you because this has been the weakest so far, but we are seeing a breakout. So breakout means, yeah, it's probably going to go up. The question is how much. This is the smallest out of the bunch, so I would expect it to perform at the last, especially when energies go up. This should also run. So this is more or less the energy trade. But in that sense, let's look at a couple of miners that we are invested in. GDX, you see, it didn't change this chart since 2023, so 3 years now, where nothing needed to be done except waiting, and this has been the case. This has run from our low call from 23 to here, 5x. I wouldn't really complain about that. This is even more insane. You see here, we're almost reaching the 1.618, also called the low around here, which is at 31. Now it's at 145. So if you made money, congratulations. But this is the high. Okay, this has potential to run much higher. Don't get me wrong. These are miners. They can, if gold stays in the range, they're still going to make more money. Um, so I can't make a good educated call, except that we are resistant at the moment, and gold and silver are probably going to come down. So um, if they are going to come down, this is probably also going to correct. Question is only how much. Okay, for me, very hard, very hard to say. Um, here you got Newmont. This usually has done a two-wave type of move. You can see also here, first part, second part, first part, second part. Here in 2000 was interesting. First part, second part, right? So it has done what it's supposed to do. Okay, 5x here as well. AEM was the one that was my favorite. Yeah, also done, right? This wasn't really nice over here, but here it got really extended. So that's great. But I don't have any targets. I can't tell you if this is going to keep on running or not. There's simply no edge, guys. Okay, SCCO. Has been one of my darlings, just because it was super clear that it's gonna go up. Now it's there. Let's check the volume. So there's the volume. Looks toppy, right? No volume here, a lot of volume here. In the breakout, lots of volume here. Kind of looks done as a swing. Yeah. I'm sure it's not something you want to hear. I'm quite certain of that. But I kind of have to, you know, be the party pooper as well. Look at this. I mean, how much do you want? This was a 100% move. Done. Rio. This one, I am desperately waiting for this move to go up. It has done tremendously well still while paying out a very nice dividend. However, yeah, here probably. So this probably has air. AG. This is probably one that looks the best. I want this. Will I get it? I don't know. It's highly speculative behavior. Um, I can't say. This has to do it in the next couple of weeks if it wants to do that. So, yeah, hard to say. I took profits on this one, rotated back into AG. Best decision of my life. This has run, but AG did give me more performance afterwards. Whenever I took profit, I bought around here. I sold it here, right there at 7, I guess. And then I rotated into AG around here. So great, right? This did a 2x, I suppose, from this sell point. Yeah, it was a bit more than 2, but AG did a 3. So there's that. Pan American Silver. Been long here. It's been painful, but 450%. I can't complain. 3-part move done. We can also use this channel here. This is probably what's up. So yeah, taking profits might be the way to go. So how do I want to play this? I would say there is time, but I would also say that the stock market doesn't look as healthy. And whenever the stock market sells off, metals do sell off as well. So here the task is, how do you time it where you still take the metals home, I would say, can still time the high in the stock market, can exit every miner at, I would say, their highs, and time it with the fall as well. I believe, and I've not been in this situation, I would say, since 2021, where I called for the top of the stock market back then. I feel like the money has been made. I don't know what else you would expect. Every call from the miners was at least a 4 to 5x. I don't know. I want to run for the hills. It was super painful. I took profit once. Kind of regretted it because it ran so much higher. Silver did surprise me. Still made money with it. The portfolio has never been better. So I gotta say, there is a voice in me that tells me, hey, it's been good. You could get another 2x if you stay in, but you made a 4 to 5x depending on which asset. And the 2x would make you win 2x, but you could also lose like 60% of your gains. 60% or a 2x, that's a coin flip to me. I'd rather lock in the 4x or 5x, depending on what you made, and be done with it. Move on. The next big player is energy. I want to build more positions into this. Right, this has just broken out, whereas everything else is already, I don't know, here. So that would be my play. The other play here is this is my box for the euro. Looks like we're gonna reach it. Is it gonna be a big move up? Certainly, could do this, but then it could also then do that. Um, I'm kind of really in a rough spot here to make a big call because this is probably the last 10%, maybe the last 15% cycle. The business cycle is topping. Everybody's losing their job. Times are getting rough. War is on the brink. The storm is big outside. So, would you keep your sheeps outside? I don't know. Like, that's your decision to make. But I believe we are at that point in the cycle where if you make a mistake now, you're going to give back 2 or 3 years worth of gains, which I'm not willing to do. So for me, I will raise more cash. I'm currently 50% cash. If I sell off a couple of metal positions, it's going to be a bit more cash then. Didn't calculate how much. Um, but I want to DCA out. Um, very tough decision to make. I think never been, yeah, maybe with Bitcoin, though. Yeah, but it was always easy to say it with Bitcoin. In gold, I'm frightened. I'm super frightened. Um, Imagine this: the currency fails and this just goes up, and I've been the party pooper who says this is the top. Yeah, I would look stupid because I sold it off for paper that's not worth anything. But if paper isn't worth anything, we have different problems than this, right? So just want to tell you, if the US defaults, and it is possible, the gains will mean nothing. It would have been better just being on your agenda, saying that the dollar is shit, the euro is shit, and staying in this. I'm more of a pragmatic kind of person. I just want to make money and be done with it. I don't believe in anything. I don't have any, um, I would say, big conviction aside that God has been great to us, and I'm super grateful to be on this earth, to be at this moment. But other than that, I don't believe a lot. Right? I don't believe in the gold hyperinflation trade. I think there is a consequence. I also do think that if you put in a lot of debt, you keep on raising the debt and so on, that there will be consequences. But isn't that a consequence already? That everything is freaking expensive? Gold tells you that. But this is the shift in the paradigm. Might be something worth thinking about, right? So, yeah. Hopefully you learn something new. I hope I could help you. Everybody needs to do this decision for themselves. I probably have told you already what I'm gonna do. Goodbye.